welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to my match reaction to Newcastle 1, Everton 0, Everton making 3 defeats on spin with another wretched performance, let's be honest. I mean, this was probably the most disappointing of the lot because, Man United and Spurs are established top six sides. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to suck it up, but today Newcastle beat us comfortably without two of their best players, both out injured, Isaac and Sam Maximin. Um, they absolutely schooled us, and we didn't lay a glove on them. Let's be quite honest. 0 shots on target for the second game running. It's absolutely pathetic, and you know we all know the squad is quite limited, but Frank Lampard has to be doing better than this. This is, he's got to be even if it's just be as ugly as possible. We've got to at least threaten the opposition goal a bit more than we did. 0 shots on target in 180 minutes of football is just not good enough, no matter what level you're playing at. And the lack of, ideas is painful to watch. Like, we just plod around the pitch. We don't really get into the opposition penalty area at all. The wingers are indecisive. Damari Gray has moments of brilliance, but not enough most of the time. He doesn't know what to do with it. Gordon was an absolute liability today. Somehow we finished the game despite seemingly going looking for a red card. He had about 3 or 4 different flashpoints where he could easily have picked up an individual book, and he picked up one booking. And even then, when walking the tightrope, he would still seem very rattled. He was trying to get about the pitch, but just nothing was working for him today. His passing was terrible. His crossing was terrible. And every game that passes where I'm watching, I'm just like, why the hell did we not cash in when Chelsea came knocking? We could have brought in a decent winger who could have provided us with some output for the same price for what we would have sold him for. And yet we're lumbered with him now, and I just don't think he's gonna improve on this. I just don't know. I don't see enough to say that he's gonna suddenly become a great player. I mean, we might need to be a bit patient, maybe, because we've seen players come good later on in the careers, like Iwobi. Iwobi was one of the better players today, but he was a bit further forward, which I don't think helped our sort of ability to win the midfield duels. And Arna was dead up and down. He lost the ball for Newcastle's goal. But he did seem to be the one that drove us forward the most. But that's not saying much. Garner, Gay was, again, pretty. He won the ball back a few times, as you'd expect, but doesn't really offer much else. Defenders were pretty solid. The centre back, Seamus Coleman, again, another. He's completely past it. He cannot keep playing at this level. And every time he does, he's going to, eventually he keeps costing us. He's a weak link. I think every team we've played since he's been in the team has been targeting him because they know he's the weak link. And, it's not fair on him. It's definitely not fair on us to, suffer as a team because of it. For everyone's benefit, he needs to not be playing in the next game. Mikalenko's struggling as well, but I don't think that's not helped by the lack of movement in front of him. You know, I think generally it was just another really, really poor performance, a tough one to watch. Fittingly on, I think what it is Sam Allardyce's birthday. I think it was a performance Sam Allardyce would have been proud of. I mean, it's one of those, like, I think someone as unpopular as Allardyce, or certainly the previous manager, who shall not be named, would definitely have been getting pelters for that performance. But it was, I think Frank Lampard, he's improved us. You can't argue with that. I think in these difficult moments, he needs to be a bit more proactive, though. I think where that's my pet hate with him. Is that, it was evidently not working, and when it wasn't working, we waited till like the 70th minute or gone that to make a change. And when he did make the change, he made the wrong changes. He took Calvert-Lewin off, who was the focal point, like the big man up top, who we could, if all else was failing, we could have maybe lumped it into the box and tried to win a few second balls. But he took him off. He didn't even bring like Rondon. I don't rate at all, but at least he's like a big presence up there. Like just lump him up to him or something. But he brings Mopai on, who can't play up front on his own to play up front on his own. And from that point on, we just didn't have any threat at all. Um, no shots on target, like I say, like it's just not good enough. So off the back of these 3 defeats in a row now, obviously all decent sides, but should be at least getting a point here and there. It's just not good enough from players or manager really. And it makes the next game against Crystal Palace. It's a must-win game now. We've got to win. We've got to break this cycle of defeats and failing to get shots on target. Go back to Goodison, and if we don't attack properly at Goodison, it's going to be horrible because we should be winning home games. Well, most of them at least. And to if we play like that at Goodison, the fans aren't going to be happy, and that's just the thing that the fans have really got behind the team and done really well, and the players often respond. And we obviously, I think, as fans, we go the game against Crystal Palace, we really try and lift the players and try and get a big performance out of them. But it's got to come. We've got to have a big performance, and we've got to have a certainly a good result, a win. Pretty much desperately, we need a win. And at the moment, I'm not confident, but we've just got to try and lift the players to get a result at Goodison because we've got to just stop very quickly because it was around this time of year last year when it all started going very pear-shaped and we just don't want a carbon copy of that. So the fans really need to lift the players and stop that from happening. And the team is better than last year, but not much better. Certainly weaker up front. We need to try and drag our team through these home games and pick up the results there because away games sometimes we can get the odd result here and there, but I'm not always very confident. But at home we should be winning the game, so we go to onto the next game against Palace, and we absolutely need to win that now. Need to hopefully a little bit of a change of system might not go amiss. Calvert-Lewin being back did help us a little bit, I think, but I'd maybe start McNeil next game. I'd probably drop Gordon if I was Lampard, but what do we know? We'll wait and see anyway. But on to Palace and pray to God that it's a much better performance than this because this was absolutely turgid. But there you have it, guys. Newcastle 1, Everton 0. Drop us a comment, give this video a like, and subscribe for more content. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching on the Toffee Blues.